Guys, that was insane. Oh my God, dude. I had to throw the camera up immediately after that game because that was insanity. I feel bad for Madrid. Not really. No, that's a lie. I don't at all. That was insane. We're going to walk through that game a little bit. We're just going to chat because I am awestruck that that happened, that that went that way. And I want to talk about it with you guys. And I think we want to yap because, oh my God, just from the start. Also today, we went to Shakira and PK's old house. We got in trouble with security, but I was trying to record a TikTok short thing. I did, but while we were doing it, we looked at the lineup today. And the second I saw the lineup, I was like, oh my God, where this team can't press at all from Madrid. They have 80-year-old Luka Modric in the midfield. Fede Valverde, their best runner, is at right back. And then your front three, Rodrigo can press, but then Vinny and PayPal, they're not moving, right? And so you have Jude who will move, who will work. He's good at doing that. I'm not taking that from him. But then you have Modric in the midfield, and that sucks away everything too. So there's going to be no pressure on the ball. It's going to be very difficult, and that's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? It was just so flat from this team, basically from the start. And Arsenal looked better after that Mbappe chance at the very beginning. Nada, nothing from this team at all. It was so pathetic. It really was. I think, look, when your opponent scores two incredible free kicks like that in front of Roberto Carlos at home, oh my dirty Declan Rice deserves the Ballon d'Or today. I'm starting my PR run. Sorry, Rafinha, it's all Declan Rice now. But seriously, that's unlucky, right? To have your opponent score those, but it's not when they have as many chances as they did. Like literally, my guy Courtois saved a billion chances, maybe more. Like, it was actually ridiculous the amount of back and forths that there were between him or Bellingham or whoever's clearing it off the line, and then Merino. It was almost always Merino, but incredible work. That Merino scored a really good goal. Did his dad's celebration? Boy, that was my light. It was great for them, but it was just wild to see, and I'm not necessarily surprised. It's wild to see this from Arsenal too, because Arsenal have had so much trouble scoring this season. That has been their biggest issue. They've been able to do a lot of other things okay, right? Their defensive record is very solid. They are a hard team to beat, but they are not necessarily a team that's gonna win every big match because they can't really score. You saw that in the first 30 minutes or so when Saka put two perfect balls in because he was ripping through the back line. Great game from Saka, but nobody was in the box. Merino is their furthest forward player, and he's good at that. He's good at that. That's an option, but he's not better than a striker. You know what I mean? And Arsenal have pushed off this striker signing for so long. It's crazy to see that today it didn't matter, right? And I could have totally have imagined this ending 1-0. And it very easily could have if Declan Rice missed those two chances because I think Arsenal deserved to it, but I don't think they didn't have a striker. It feels like if they had a striker in that situation, it could have been 5-6 even. I think the 3-0 is a very fair victory. When your opponent scores two free kicks, it almost always doesn't feel like fair because those are things that happen rarely, especially when they're direct free kicks like that. But they created so many chances, and Madrid were so unbelievably mid. We've known they really haven't been good this season, but when they beat Atleti, I thought, okay, maybe they've got something going here. Even though I thought Atleti were gonna win that game, but it depends. Anything can happen. And then seeing this really changed my mind. The problem is, I don't know if 3 goals is enough for the Bernabeu and Madrid's dark arts, right? Like they just figure it out there, and we can go on and ramble about why that is forever. But the point is, they aren't in a good spot right now to do very well, and that's big for the program here. That's going to put a lot of pressure on them in La Liga, and obviously there's the Copa del Rey final in I don't know if it's in a couple weeks or when exactly it is, but I'm sorry for the lighting being so bad for the first while. That is ridiculous from the boys here, though, that they were able to put this up for Arsenal. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Arteta, even though Arteta was still angry at the end of that game, yelling at his players. But whatever, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I don't know. I think Madrid could definitely come back. I think Mbappe could easily score a brace. Vinny was terrible today too. That was like one of the most obvious things to me. Vinny was just so incredibly poor. Could not beat his man. Could not get a ball. And there was one breakaway chance where Mbappe was putting in the perfect run, and then Mbappe tried a little Trivela pass. I believe it was a Trivela. It might not have been pass across the box, but it hit the first man. It hit the guy that's supposed to be the easiest to beat. And you expect Vinny Jr., a Ballon d'Or candidate, one of the best wingers in the world, undoubtedly. Hey, throwing up the bias, it's true. You expect more from him there every single time. And God, man, look, I want to be happy. I want to like just laugh. I want to be able to like breathe and I can because it's reassuring that they still got performances in them like this, and I'm not surprised. But it's good to see when we're competing against them in La Liga, even though I think we're 4 or 5 points ahead, maybe six. No, I think 4 or 5. And plus, we have the Copa del Rey final, and I want both of those. I want both of those, and I want to make a run in the Champions League, but we won't talk about that today. And I think it's possible against this team. It's just so flat. I think Ancelotti needs to go because they have the talent, and it's unfortunate they do have some injuries. But Courtois came back today and made a boatload of saves. He very easily could have been still out, and you could. I think Asensio has played well. I think Alaba, not great today. Rudiger also has been like a stud at the back for forever, but I don't know, man. It's just they have talent, and I know they have injuries, but I'd expect more. And I know Ceballos isn't around, and he's been good, but seeing them play this poorly, it just makes me feel like it's a managerial thing. Like I have to put it on Ancelotti, even though there are injuries, because it's just so flat. It's just so lifeless. And when your football relies so much on individual brilliance, well, when it's not clicking, it just looks really poor on the manager, even though the injuries are around, and that's a good excuse. That's an excuse they're going to use, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I really, really don't know if where they'll go from here. I think they can come back, and I definitely think they might. It's Arsenal. This is a team that struggles in these situations and has for the past decade. But today, Declan Rice put in a hell of a performance. I think Saka was incredible. It's unfortunate he didn't have a striker ahead of him. And I think overall, I think Partey was really good. I think Saliba was great. They did a really good job. Kivior was fine. They filled gaps where they needed to, and David Raya was obviously a stud as well. So I don't know, guys. This is a team that looks good right now. It looks relatively unbeatable for a team down three like Madrid is, but also can't get our hopes up too much because this is Real Madrid and they just figure it out somehow. The Florentino Perez talks to some I don't know, evil spirit, and they figure it out no matter what. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see some content coming out about it, I'm sure. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think it was fair? Do you think they deserve to win 3-0? I would say so. I would probably give it 3-0 every day of the week and twice right now. So thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys all maybe tomorrow or in the next few days. No, tomorrow for the Barca match. So see you then. Peace, everybody.